Bob Weep Grind on Weep Ninny Bum. What's going on? We're back with a brand new video here. And I was perusing social media in Los Internetos, and I came across this particular clip from Charles Barkley on Inside the NBA. And it must have been one of the episodes that I missed because I don't remember seeing this one. But he was talking about the Lakers and what I like to call their carousel of blame. And he runs down how it's always got to be someone. There's always has to be a scapegoat for the shortcomings of the team. And he really said what so many of us have been thinking and have been saying for so long. So I don't want to take Chuck's thunder. So I'm going to let you hear what he had to say. So without any further ado, here are the words of Charles Barkley.
Why I hate the Lakers?
Why do you
Why
hate
do
the
you
Lakers?
hate
Why do you
the
hate the
Lakers?
Lakers? Chuck, tell us.
Why I hate the Lakers? It's always somebody else's fault. Remember 3 years ago it was Russell Westbrook's fault. Then it was Frank Vogel's fault. Then it was D'Angelo Russell's fault. Then it was Darvin Ham's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Listen, LeBron is one of the all-time greats. AD is a hell of a player. That's it. The rest of the guys are just guys. Every team got those guys, and it bothers me. Listen, you don't always blame other people for your shortcoming. I hate the Lakers.
Why do you
Why
hate
do
the
you
Lakers?
hate
Why do you
the
hate the
Lakers?
Lakers? Chuck, tell us.
Why I hate the Lakers? It's always somebody else's fault. Remember 3 years ago it was Russell Westbrook's fault. Then it was Frank Vogel's fault. Then it was D'Angelo Russell's fault. Then it was Darvin Ham's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Listen, LeBron is one of the all-time greats. AD is a hell of a player. That's it. The rest of the guys are just guys. Every team got those guys, and it bothers me. Listen, you don't always blame other people for your short.
So there you have it, the words from Mr. Charles Barkley, and I have to say he hit the nail on the head. He knocked it out of the park, hole in one on all the accounts. And I said this on my last video. You know what? I've never seen another athlete in any other sport, well, team sport, where anytime his teams are successful, it's look how great he is. He is awesome. He's wonderful. He's going to be the greatest. He is the greatest, blah, blah, blah. But when his teams come up short, they're not successful. It's never it's never LeBron James's fault. It's always someone else's fault. It's the coach's fault. It's the GM's fault. It's the other player's fault. It's the ninth man on the bench. It's the popcorn man. It's the parking lot attendant. It's the security guard. It's the dudes who come out there and mop up the floor between halves. It's somebody else's fault. It's the man in the moon. It's never the man in the mirror, but I digress. And I've just never seen anything like that. And of course, he takes the narrative and runs with it because you've seen him, subtly and not so subtly throw teammates under the bus. This is the same dude who wore a shirt that said, "Check my stats." This is the same dude that in the finals, as they're getting blown off the floor, he let it be known that, I'm averaging a triple-double. Ergo saying, hey, you can't blame me. It's not my fault. Look at these numbers I'm putting up. And that's one of the reasons he's stat pads and all this to try to abscond any sort of blame, because you're going to say, well, look, he put up these prodigious numbers, so there's no way he could possibly be at fault for any of the issues, the difficulties, the losses that the team has, when in fact it is completely the other way around. And we're seeing it this year. When they were running through Anthony Davis and LeBron James was more secondary, the team was winning. Granted, they were playing some cans, but since LeBron has started to assert himself more offensively, you see that the Lakers' fortunes have turned down and they've started to lose. And Stevie Wonder could see what's going on with this team. But yeah, they love to blame the sycophants, the media. They always love to blame other people, which is crazy. And just like Chuck said, for Luke Walton, he was terrible. They got him out of here. Frank Vogel, they win the 2020 championship, but a year later, he's completely forgotten how to coach basketball. They get him out of here. They bring in Darvin Ham. He wins the exhibition tournament, gets him to the Western Conference Finals, but he's a terrible coach too. They get him out of here. First it was, and like I said, it was D'Angelo's Russell's fault. Then, well, before that, it was Russell Westbrook's fault, which I'm trying to figure out how an MVP All-Star caliber player who just got through leading a severely undermanned Washington Wizards team to the playoffs, but all of a sudden he gets to Los Angeles and playing with LeBron. All of a sudden he can't remember how to play basketball anymore, and he's the worst player in the league. It was his fault. Then it was D'Angelo Russell's fault. Then it was this guy's fault. It was KCP's fault. Malik Monk's fault. It's always somebody else. Like, what superstar ever have you seen where they blame the complimentary pieces, the bench guys? I've just never seen, like the Kobe and Shaq, like, oh man, it's Rick Fox's fault that they lost. It's DJ Banger's fault that they lost. Man, he's terrible. That darn Mark Madsen is costing them games. No. If you want to be the man, you take and you want that adulation, then you got to take the responsibility that comes with it. And he only wants one side. That's why people say he's a front runner. But I can go on about with for another 20 minutes. And I'm glad you've got more and more people, at least in the independent space, starting to call this out. But yeah, Charles Barkley is once again right on with what he said. But I know some of these clowns because I run across a few of them. They'll say he's a hater because God forbid, anybody who doesn't have on the knee pads for LeBron, you're a hater. That's what they love to say, but they can't tell you why. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. But what did you think about the comments of Charles Barkley? Did you think he was right? Are you one of these people who got the panties up in a bunch about what he had to say? Let us know. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments section. But as always, I do thank you for spending a few moments with me. And as always, please make sure to tell the ones that you love them. And if you know anyone who's in California, check on your Cali people. Make sure that they're all right. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.